Hello everyone. Today I will be persuading you that we should drill for oil in Alaska. We, as young adults, will soon be entering a tough world. A world full of struggle and uncertainty. Especially in our country, with the economy not being great and only slowly recovering, and unemployment at rates that equal and supersede the highest in decades. Is this a world we want to enter? Is this a world we want to raise a family in? This is probably not, but like always, there is an answer. Out on the coast of Alaska lies a large expanse of land filled with oil yearning to be tapped into. This is the answer to our problem. It is our knight in shining armor. This land is called ANWR. ANWR stands for the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Inside of ANWR lies the Alaskan coastal plain. It is a 1.5 million acre strip for oil production and research. Out of that large amount of land, we would only be using 2,000 acres for actual development. It's such a small percentage that processing it will leave a minimal footprint on the area. And this shows you that this is like only the top half of Alaska, and right here, this is the ANWR Reserve, and this is the 1.5 million acre strip right here. We would only be using 2,000 acres of that. And in this one, this is showing you compared to all of ANWR. This is the Arctic. This is the plain. No, this is the plain, and right here are the two spots that we would drill in. So out of all of this ANWR Reserve, we'd only be using those two spots. The next one. And this shows you in a chart. That's the whole reserve. This is for wilderness. This is the 1.5 million area, and that's the development area. Imagine how helpful that land could be. Imagine how helpful that oil could be. And we just let it sit there and wither away. It's a sin. Unfortunately, Congress will not allow oil exploration in that area. They will not pass a bill granting our oil companies access. Our country is in a time of crisis, but the answer is right under our noses. We just need to take advantage of it. So today, I will convince you that drilling in Alaska will benefit our country in three main ways: creating jobs and lowering unemployment. It will stimulate our economy and bring us out of debt. And finally, and most importantly, it will decrease our dependency on foreign oil. Oil is an expensive commodity, one we have but do not use. It's hard to understand why we will not use this, because it will benefit our country so much. Personally, I think we should grant our oil companies access to the ANWR Reserve to create new jobs and lower unemployment. ExxonMobil stated that allowing them to drill in Point Thompson alone will create 160,000 new jobs. And if Congress and Senate allowed oil exploration in ANWR, an additional 735,000 jobs will be created. This will help Americans greatly, considering that our unemployment rate is at 10.6% currently. Unemployment will not get better either unless more jobs are created. And oil jobs aren't cheap either. An average oil salary can range from $50,000 to $200,000 a year. And jobs range from on-site to oil rigs to the refinery. The oil industry doesn't just create jobs. but it creates jobs that you can live on and raise a family on. The answer to our employment crisis is right at our fingertips. We just need to grab it. But the oil benefits, they do not stop there. Our country, over the past couple decades, has accumulated the most debt since the Great Depression. Our economy is not much better either, and that reflects on the worth of our dollar. But once again, oil is the answer. If Congress and Senate allow our oil companies access to ANWR, it will stimulate our economy and bring us out of debt. We can lease these areas off to oil companies, and they will have to pay royalty on the land and taxes on their products. On royalty alone, our country would collect $42.8 billion a year, and on taxes, we would collect an additional $94.8 billion a year. This is approximately $138 billion a year extra for our country. That's an astronomical amount of money. Our country also spends $55.1 billion a year importing oil. If we drilled in ANWR, we would save another $14 billion a year. Imagine what we could do with that money. We could build schools, build new libraries, and even fund government projects. But still, oil has more benefits. Finally, and possibly the most important benefit for our country, is decreasing our foreign oil dependency. This is a conflict that affects all Americans. $55.1 billion a year is sent overseas to purchase foreign oil. ANWR creates about 876,000 barrels of oil a day. That is about 25% of the oil we need, and 25% we have 25% less we need to import. Money that is sent overseas is used to fund terrorist groups, such as Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. In fact, the day we all know as 9/11 was funded by our own oil money. That day, we could have saved 2,763 lives and all of their families that grieved their lost loved ones. We could have also saved everyone's peace of mind. Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas and former Republican presidential candidate, put on his campaign website that he wants to reduce and fully eliminate our dependency on foreign oil. I'm not the only one that agrees with this, Corey. In fact, out of all Alaskans, 75% of Alaskans think we should drill for oil in ANWR. We need to start relying on our own oil to save money and to take a real stand on terrorism. Our country must first realize that we are in the middle of a crisis, and drilling is our best answer. Our congressmen and president, and especially our president, must be the good leaders we know them to be and pass a law allowing access to ANWR. But that all starts with us. I think that we should spread the word to our family and to our friends, and eventually work it up to our congressmen so we can get this law passed. This is the only way to reestablish the American dream. This is a great country, and we should allow our oil companies access to ANWR for three main reasons: to create jobs, stimulate our economy, and decrease our dependency on foreign oil. We need to spread the word, make people aware of our crisis and how we can solve it. This is our future, the world we are entering. We can impact whether it's a world full of crisis or a world where the sky is the limit.